morning, guys. On this installment of PJ Cooks Sexy Food, we're going to be making everyone's favorite chocolate chip banana bread. Everyone's got a different recipe for it, but here's mine. Let's get started. So what we need for our banana bread recipe today is we need 3 extremely ripe bananas. I bought these bananas about a week ago. I've had them sitting on the counter. You can see how they turn black. The stems have shriveled. They're really, really soft. I'm going to mash these up. We also need 1/2 cup of softened butter, or 1 stick of butter, 2 whole eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1/3 of a cup of sour cream, 1/3 of a cup of buttermilk, 2.5 cups of cake flour. Yes, you're going to need cake flour for this recipe. All-purpose flour has too much proteins. We need the cake flour. It's a softer wheat. We need 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1.5 cups of chocolate chips that I've already went ahead and tossed with about a tablespoon of flour, so that this way the chips will stay suspended in our banana bread. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take a secret ingredient here, and that secret ingredient is a banana bakery emulsion. You can find this at any good bakery store or any store that sells really good high-end baking products. This is going to just bump up that banana flavor in our banana bread, and all I'm using is 1/4 teaspoon. And those are all the ingredients that we're going to need for our banana bread. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt, and combine them together. I'm just using a whisk to aerate it and to combine all the ingredients. Now that that's done, I'm going to set that off to the side. Okay, our dry ingredients are set. Now I'm turning my oven on to 350 degrees. And I'm going to focus on my bananas. Now, as I said, these bananas have been sitting on my counter for about a week till they really have look basically horrible. You can see how brown and nasty the skins look. When we peel this skin off, we have a very, very soft, extremely sweet, extremely flavorful banana here. Just want to make sure we get every bit of that peel off. I'm going to go ahead and peel up the rest of these bananas. Okay, with our bananas peeled, now we're just going to take a fork and I'm just going to mash them up, just like this. See, it doesn't take much effort when they're really super ripe. And on into our mashed banana, I'm going to add that little bit of banana extract, or banana bakery emulsion that I have here. Mashing that up. Perfect. Now that the bananas are all nicely mashed, I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side. So the next thing I want to do is I have a stick of butter. I have our sugar. Using our handy dandy hand mixer, I'm going to whip these two together until it becomes light and fluffy. And that should just take a couple of minutes on a medium speed. So I whipped up the butter and the sugar. Now I'm going to add 1 egg. I'm going to mix that up until it's well incorporated. Once that first egg is well incorporated, I'm going to go ahead and add in the second one. So I beat in that second egg, and you can see what we have here. It essentially is a mayonnaise. It's an emulsion between the butter and the fat from the butter and the fat from the egg yolks have created what looks almost like a mayonnaise. And this is what's going to give the moistness and a lot of flavor to the cake, and also some of the airiness that we're going to need. So what we want to do now is add in the vanilla extract, the buttermilk, as well as the sour cream. And we can whip that up together with the beater just until it's all well combined. So the last thing we're going to add to this our wet team is going to be the banana. And we're just going to whip that up for just a minute to get that all well combined. So all our wet ingredients are combined, all our dry ingredients are combined. Now let's focus to our pan. I'm using a springform pan. You could use a loaf pan, you could use a tube pan, but I like using a springform pan for this. I'm just giving it a little coating of baking spray. Baking spray is a no-stick spray that actually has a little flour in it, so it works to give it an easier release. Once that pan is sprayed just as it is, I'm going to set this off to the side for a moment. Okay, bringing back our bowl with all our wet ingredients. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dump all our dry ingredients right into it. And I'm going to fold all the dry ingredients into the wet just until everything comes together. This should just take about a minute or two. Notice I'm not stirring, I'm folding. I'm taking from the center and dragging up around the bowl. You just want to do this until everything is well combined. So I went ahead, I folded everything in. You'll see there may be a couple of little lumps in there. That's okay, don't worry about it. They will bake out in the oven. Now I'm going to take our chocolate chips that we have coated in flour. I'm going to toss those in, and I'm just going to fold those right into the batter. Once I get them folded in and they're evenly distributed, we will transfer this to our baking dish. Okay, so our chips are well incorporated. Let's go ahead. Just pour all this right in. Scrape every bit of that bowl out. Don't leave any batter in there. Smooth out the top. Take your pan, just give it a little to get any bubbles out. Now we'll go ahead, pop this into that 350-degree oven for about 35 to 45 minutes. Till you stick a fork in, a toothpick in, it comes out clean. When you touch the top, it just bounces back. Okay, so it's been 35 minutes. I've just went ahead and taken this out of the oven. You can see how beautifully golden brown it is. When I press on the top, it just bounces right back. And then the last test is the toothpick test. You're going to stick a toothpick right into the center, pull it out. And when you see that it comes out clean, you know it's fully cooked. So now we're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to take the springform pan off and let it cool on the rack for another 30 minutes before we can enjoy it. So we've let our banana bread completely cool. We took it off the rack, transferred it to a nice plate. Now let's go ahead and go in there and let's cut a slice. It's got a nice crust to it. Oh, look at that, how moist and delicious that is. The chocolate chips throughout. Oh, this is going to be delicious. So, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you try it at home. Thank you for tuning in to PJ Cooks Sexy Food. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.